So here's a good way to avoid having to panic because you may get run out of food if there's ever a crisis, especially in the middle of winter when there's either heavy snow or the roads are blocked or you don't know what could happen. So you have a store of non-perishable items. And the nice thing about these types of items, particularly oats and rice and beans, is that they store for a long time, and you can rotate your inventory. So let's say you buy a 5-pound bag of beans, and you have two of them. You just keep one that you're using, and then you use up that one. And then when you're down to one bag, you go and you buy. You're in the market, you go and grab another 2 bags, and the same thing with the rice, because these types of items will last a long time as long as you keep a regularly relative temperature without a lot of ups and downs in the temperature. You don't want to get it cold and warm and cold and warm. You want to keep them indoors, keep them in a place where it's cool and dry, and they last a long time. You can have rice, in a bag for a year. It'll keep, for a long time, usually, and you'll always be secure in your person knowing that at your home you have enough food set aside for if there is an emergency or a crisis. You won't be having to leave your house and go to the store. You can hunker down in your home and be comfortable without having to panic or to worry about running out of food and having to deal with the public and fighting at supermarket lines. So it's just good to have in emergencies, especially if you think that you may in the future run into a situation where your power is going to be out for a long time. Now, if you need to have cooking, you should have a small gas barbecue. You can boil the beans on that, or if you're at a hardware, or if you're at a sporting goods store in a camping section, get a little fold out like a little rack for burning firewood under, and you can burn firewood and boil your water and cook beans on an open fire outside. Just keep a store of wood for having a fire and some dry paper and a means of starting a fire. Or if you're and also it's good to have lots of canned goods also. And what you do is you just have a supply of canned goods. Next time you're in the grocery store, just don't buy 1 or 2 cans. If you can afford it, get a whole rack. Get a whole box, and that way you'll have these. They'll last you for 4 or 5 months if you eat a lot. Like these are olives and corn and beets and string beans, green beans. So what I do is when I go to the grocery store, I like the grocery stores where you bag your own groceries, and then you save money also. But just keep them. Don't let them freeze, and don't let them get too hot. Keep them in a regular temperature area, or place in your house where it doesn't get too hot or too cold. And you just basically use them up, and then when you're down to like 1 or 2 cans, you just restock your inventory. Now for water, we have the Berkey water filter that we use. I don't really want to show you my counter because it's kind of messy. But anyhow, that's just some food for thought. That way you're always, if you have a supply of food in your home, in a situation arrives where power's out and you can't get out and the roads are blocked, or there's situations in town where people are going to be uptight, aggressive, and you're not going to want to go shopping when everybody else is panic shopping. So anyhow, feel free to leave a comment. Thanks for stopping by.